The Cottonwood County Citizen proudly presents Athlete of the Week. iCitizen Computer Sales and Service is proud to sponsor this week's Athlete of the Week. Whether you are buying a computer, need help with networking, or need virus removal, iCitizen has the manpower, skill, and capacity to tackle computer issues of any size. Call 507-831-3455 or visit iCitizensupport.com. iCitizen, located in downtown Windham.
I'm joined right now by Windham sophomore Kaylee Walklin, our Athlete of the Week this week. Congratulations, Kaylee.
Thank you.
Let's go back to this weekend at the Howard Wood Relays over in Sioux Falls. And you know, the Howard Wood meet it's a really unique meet. You have to qualify to run in it. And it brings in a lot of the best runners from Minnesota, South Dakota, Iowa, North Dakota. It's a big field. Tell me what the preparation was like for that big a meet, because in a lot of ways, it's kind of bigger than the state meet in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it is. I just knew like there was a lot of, good competition there, and try to not go out too fast, because I at the state meet and bigger meets like that, I tend to go out faster and then, slow down at the end. So I try to, just stay calm in that position, even if I was at the end of the pack, so I could get a good time and placement.
I got the email from Coach Knutson with the results from the weekend, and he said it was kind of a tale of two races for you. On Friday, you ran the 3,200. You're in the faster of the two heats, and he said that you ran a pretty conservative race. And then on Saturday, in the 1,600, you're in the slow heat, and really, ran a career best time, which, set a new school record. Let's start with Friday's race. Tell me about what the field was like, and just the competition, and what the pace of that race was like.
So on Friday, the 2 mile, I was in the faster heat. I was one of the slower ones in the faster heat, so I knew there's going to be a lot of people in front of me, and that's okay. But I did the same thing. I started out kind of in the back of the pack. Jenna DeBates started last, and she got 6th place. So I think me and her and a Marshall girl, we all knew this is a really competitive field, and that you don't have to start out super fast like they did, because I ended up passing a lot of them. I passed a pretty big pack at the end of the race. I did go out conservative, just because I only ran two 2 mile races before that, so I didn't know where I was at. Les wanted me under 12:30 or even under 12:20, and I ran just under 12:30. So
on Saturday in the 1,600, if you're running in the slow heat, and that's a position that you really haven't been in a whole lot in your career, is in the slower heat, and therefore that if you want to place in this event, you almost have to push beyond. What was that like?
So I knew we had stickers and stuff, so I knew who was placed behind me and stuff. I started out conservative, just like I did in the 2 mile on Friday. But it wasn't, I started out about a 120 or a 118 or something like that, so it was still pretty fast. And on the second lap, I caught up to the pack, in the middle to front pack. And then on going into our third lap, we were going kind of, I don't want to say slow, because we were still going pretty fast, but I knew I could get up to the front of the pack, in the front just of everybody. So on the third lap, I passed everybody on the curve and just kept going into the last lap.
Coach has thrown you in a lot of different stuff this year, because I know you've run the 400, I know you ran the 800, 16, 32, of course you run a lot of relays. How, I imagine that just just knowing what, going into a meet that you're running some different events takes a little bit of different preparation, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, knowing like, okay, so, I want to run the 400, or let's say I run like the 1600, or like the 4x8, the 400, the 4x4. If like what event we want to do super good in, and then what events kind of are okay if I do bad in, or not bad, but like not as good. I don't know, because it's kind of like after you run the 4x8, I might have to run like the last event, the 4x4, so I have to like prepare to run another one. It was kind of different just running one race.
When you run a 4x8, and then if you run either a 16 or a 32, and then the 4x4 is the last race of the day, that really you have to warm up and cool down several times during the course of the day.
Yeah. So I always warm up, cool down, and then I have to do that for like each event I do. For this one, I just got to focus on one event, which is kind of nice, because I kind of wanted to see how fast I could actually go in the 2 miles, since I've only ran it a couple times, and I got to like push myself more, because I knew I didn't have an event after that.
Last season, you qualified for state in a couple of events, and and one of those was a relay, and I imagine that going up there with a relay versus going just by yourself, completely different experience. How valuable was that for you, and getting to share it with some teammates?
Yeah, that was super fun. We didn't really know where our team would be at the beginning of the season. I didn't even think that we could go to state at the beginning, but I mean the 4x8, I think I was more nervous for that, just because you're a team and you want to do good for your team, and you have other people relying on you and not just doing it yourself. So I don't know, but it was super fun going as a team last year.
What are you looking for, at subsections? What are you hoping to compete in? And obviously the ultimate goal is to move on to sections and move on to state again.
I don't know for sure what I'm going to run. I still have to talk to Les about that, but I want to run the mile and the 2 mile, both together, and try to make it to state for both of those, but that means then I can't run the 4x8, because you can't do all those events together. So I'm not sure what I'm going to run, but I think this Howard Wood meet was a good meet to go to, because I kind of know where I'm at, my times and everything, since I got to be in a more competitive field. So that means later on at sections and stuff, I know I can try to beat that time. Probably state track. Taylor Swift, a lot of Taylor Swift. Jenna debates from Laverne. Competitive and committed. I like to go to church events and stuff, youth group, and yeah.
Well, that should be all we need. Congratulations on a great performance this weekend. Best of luck the rest of the way. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
iCitizen Computer Sales and Service is proud to sponsor this week's Athlete of the Week. Whether you are buying a computer, need help with networking, or need virus removal, iCitizen has the manpower, skill, and capacity to tackle computer issues of any size. Call 507-831-3455 or visit iCitizensupport.com. iCitizen, located in downtown Windham.